club, and that's going to help him.
Miguel Cabrera greets Cole.
Right.
Blast to left center. Oh! Pumped it out!
So one great thing about spring training is how accessible the players are. It's usually not too difficult to get them to sign your balls. All right, so we got Gerrit Cole on the mound for the third time this spring today. He's been sick the last couple of days. Let's hope it's not coronavirus. How terrible would that be? Jesus. So you've got the dog days of summer, which is like August, when you're cruising towards the playoffs.
Playoffs?
And you're just trying not to get hurt. Well, that's kind of how this feels, the dog days of spring. We're about halfway through spring. The hitters are starting to get enough reps that the guys who are going to be on the roster are getting ready. The pitchers just need more innings because right now guys are throwing 2-3 innings. You might see 4 innings from a couple guys soon. I don't know how many Gerrit Cole is going to throw today, but I'll try and put most of it, if not all of it, in the highlights. So let's get started. Let's talk about today's matchup. So on the mound for the Tigers is Casey Mize. I'm really anxious to see what this guy can do. Casey Mize was the number 1 overall pick a couple years ago. He dominated in single A last year. He had a 0.88 ERA and then moved up to double A where he had about a 3 ERA. So he's going to be a big-time pitcher in the major leagues very, very soon. So Yankees fans who are wondering about Aaron Judge, I know it's on your mind. As of the time of this recording at 8 a.m., and there might be more news later on, but there is no news this morning, Aaron Judge has been out with a pectoral strain, and Brian Cashman said yesterday that they're still doing even more testing, and that he didn't want to drip information out that might have to be retracted. You might remember last year, they said Aaron Hicks was only going to miss a week, ended up missing almost 2 months. They said that Giancarlo Stanton was only going to miss a few days, ended up missing a couple months. So I think they've gotten used to disappointing the fans with their diagnoses, and I think Brian Cashman has had it. He's fed up with it. So he wants to make sure that all of the doctors and all of the team officials are all on the same page with what's wrong with Aaron Judge, so that way they can give us a clear outlook on what's going to be his timetable for return. So I think personally that the Yankees are going to be extremely cautious with Aaron Judge. So first things first, you got to get him healthy, right, before you can even start him with spring training games. He hasn't played in any spring training games. He hasn't even done any inter-squad workouts yet. So they're going to let him heal, and then they're going to take their time to ramp him up. He'll probably miss the first part of April because they don't want to get him out there in the cold weather where he can re-injure something. So I would look for Aaron Judge at the end of April. Now, it's much more important that the Yankees have Aaron Judge for October than for April. Sure, we would all love to see 6 months of Aaron Judge dropping bombs, but like I said, much more important that we have him for the postseason than for the early season matchups. We can survive against some of our early season opponents. We got the Orioles, we got the Tigers, we got, I think, the Rangers. So it shouldn't be too tough to get through that with some of the backups, especially if Giancarlo is a little bit ahead of Judge, which he may be. So let's see what happens with Judge. Right now, they're just continuing to test him. We don't know for sure, what's wrong, but when I find out something, you'll find out something. Okay, so we just got the lineups for today's game against the Tigers in Lakeland, Florida. Mike Tauchman leading off, the Sockman, playing center field. Gio Urshela playing third base. Miguel Andujar playing first base, getting a little work on the other side of the diamond. Gary Sanchez at catcher. Clint Frazier playing left field. Kyle Higashioka, the Yankees' backup catcher, will be DHing today. Rosel Herrera, who has looked good at third base, getting some action at second base today. Tyro Estrada playing shortstop. And Trey Amburgey playing right field. So the thing that I am most interested in seeing today, other than Gerrit Cole, who I'll talk about in a minute, is Miguel Andujar at first base. Obviously, he's moving all over the diamond this year. He's played some left field. He's played some third base. Now at first base for the first time on television this year. So it'll be interesting to see how he looks over there. I've always felt if you can play third base, you can play first base. His problem was never picking up the ball at third base. His problem is throwing the ball. He takes forever to get rid of it because he likes to double and triple pat that glove before throwing it across the diamond, which is something, it's a hard habit to break. So Obviously, Gio Urshela has taken command of the third base job, so it's on Andujar to adapt to other positions if he wants to get his bat in the lineup. And on the mound, the Yankees' ace, number 45, Gerrit Cole. I saw some discussion in one of my previous Gerrit Cole videos that his velocity seemed down or that guys seemed to be having good swings against him. Just a reminder that this is spring training. He's just tuning up. He's throwing mostly fastballs. He's throwing a lot of pitches down the middle. He's not trying to strike everybody out. They're not utilizing scouting reports for the most part. So he will get better. And he's not going to be perfect every time out. He's not going to, throw 99 to 100 miles an hour every pitch all season. So, get over it if he has a rough outing.
Here's the 8th pitch from him of the inning. Launch to left. Gone! Travis Demerick continues his hot sprint.
Club, and that's going to help him.
Miguel Cabrera greets Cole. Last to left center. Oh! Pumped it out!
The most. How do you make the right decision?
Got him out front. On the ground, wide of first. Stumbling to make the play is Andujar. First time that Andujar has played first for the Yankee earlier a year ago. And we're able to handle it. Foul. 0-2 to Mercer. Swung on and chased a high fastball out of the zone.
We're watching the swing right here. He's really outside corner, had good extension, good backspin. You talked a lot.
Yeah, Gibby, that comes from him playing. Well, he's got good off-speed pitches, with it.
Cabrera sends it to deep center.
That's gone.
Another back-to-back jack.
That's gone.
Trying to restore to a normal life with that area that was hit so hard.
Right, there's still, it's a crazy mess right now. There's still rescue efforts going on right now. Most of that's wrapped up, but there's
quite a bit more time to make a decision.
Higashioka sends one to deep left center field, and
his swing seems to have shortened up too.
Got under this one, lost in center field, and that one is over the wall.
So nobody freak out. Obviously, Gerrit Cole got hammered. He gave up 6 runs. He gave up back-to-back home runs to the same 2 hitters twice. So obviously the most we've seen Gerrit Cole struggle as a Yankee, but everyone struggled today. It was very, very windy. If you saw any of the game, the camera was shaking a lot because the wind was so strong, and it was consistent throughout. And what happens when it's that windy is it becomes very, very hard to throw your breaking ball. So you saw a lot of breaking balls hanging up in the zone, not just from Gerrit Cole, but from every pitcher out there. There were about 1 million home runs. Or as Mike Russo would say, there were about 1 million home runs today. So when guys are hanging breaking balls, you got to throw your fastball or you got to throw a hanging breaking ball. And in the spring, those get hit a long way, especially when the wind is blowing out. You saw almost every home run was hit to deep center field. And by the way, Miguel Cabrera had about 950 feet worth of home runs today. It was insane. Jordan Montgomery got hit a little bit too. Even his great breaking ball wasn't doing much. So obviously not what you want. You don't want to get crushed in spring training. You don't want to ever get crushed. But Gerrit Cole did show some good signs. The fastball was up to 99 miles an hour today. So, at times he looked very strong, very dominant. But these things happen in the spring. So let's just put it behind us, move on. Yeah. If this was your first time here, I want to thank you for stopping by. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It helps other fans find the channel. I plan to do recaps and discussion of every game all season long. I've also got a weekly podcast, and I'm putting together a documentary at the end of the season. Send me your reactions at NYY Recaps on Twitter to be a part of the film. I try to reply to all comments as long as you're not being a jerk. So go ahead and leave a comment below. Tell me what you think of this game and your thoughts on the team, and I'll see you next time.